What up, y'all? What's going on? So, I'm not gonna keep this too long. Every time I say that, it ends up being longer than I anticipated, but straight to the point. Straight to the point. Let's have some real talk today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. At the time as I'm recording this, what's going on? 1337. Hexer. At the time of this recording, you might be living in the future. Not might be. You are living in the future. Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all that are catching up to where I'm at. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody at this point who are positive, healthy, and great. You know, he said it's time for church. New to God Plankton and you, what's going on? He said time for church. It's gonna be a short session. Crypto church. Oh man, I don't know what other church there is that find a person like myself cursing all the time. Out of control. Christopher, what's going on, man? Put an 8 chicken wings with fried rice. DJ Cryptomatic says, let's talk about it. Yeah, real quick, man. I wish I had a lot more time. We're going to talk about something that's just, it's a reoccurring theme throughout crypto, and for sure, DJ Bomber, what's going on? He said, time for confessions. Time for the confessions. I know, right? Time for the confessions. Well, this topic is the same thing that sort of like I said, has been reoccurring in crypto for a long time. Like, what is it? How do we hear about these things as far as crypto? How do we hear about crypto, right? How do we learn about it? What was it how did we discover what we're doing, right? Those of us who've been around for a while, including those who are just new, you know, what led you here? You know, what caught your attention about the crypto that got you to be interested to dig deeper, you know, and maybe even pull the trigger in a way and buy or invest, participate? What is it? What caused us, what caught our attention? Right? Like, when I remember when I first came into the industry, when I exposed to the industry, of course, I didn't believe in the industry. An older colleague of mine put me onto Bitcoin, just asked me what was Bitcoin. At the time, I was exposed to like articles, like even in newspapers, like, oh, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. And then at the time, it was just something that it seemed like you use to, you know, if you wanna get something off the market, you use that to be able to do your transactions and stuff like that. Like, it was, you know, gambling, casino type. I didn't take it serious. We talking 2014, 18, so I dismissed it. And it wasn't until I saw an interview, the beginning of 17, and somebody was saying, well, what gets you into Bitcoin? What got you into Bitcoin? Blah, blah, blah. And then they would give in their breakdown. And then, I don't know, I'm like, oh man, I'm tired of hearing about this. What is this about? It wasn't a bad tired of hearing about it. It was a tired of hearing about it and me not doing nothing type, you know, kind of thing. So, man, once I got in, I never left, man. Once you get into crypto and you see how it works and you enjoy it, and it's helped you in your life, provide real utility, man, until something else better comes along, I'm not leaving cryptocurrency at all. Like, until something better comes along, you know. And that was the beginning, centralized exchange, blah blah blah. I remember the first DEX I was dealing with was something called IDEX, something like that. And then I saw the power in that, but it wasn't really getting enough love at the time. But it was powerful, contending with the big players across the world. Binance just came on the scene. But IDEX was, contending with all these big players, exchanges throughout the world, especially the Asian exchanges, man. Heavyweights. But I saw IDEX where you didn't have to give up any information. It was just you and the exchange, the power of decentralized exchange, blah, blah, blah. Introducing more elements connected to DeFi. There was no turning back at this point. Now I'm entrenched. But what is it that gets you into these things as far as crypto? What gets you into them? What catches you to what? And as soon as I started like really digging deep, and then of course, everything you'll find on the internet. You can't just watch television if you do and learn about cryptocurrency. You have to do the research and expose yourself to the internet, to the right channels. Telegram just came out, yo. Telegram wasn't even out back then. Discord was just in the beginning. If it was out, it was just in the beginning of this whole crypto craziness, right? But those were the tools we used to keep abreast as daily, like as to what's going on. Twitter, yeah, but if you really wanted to really be in the know, even now, Twitter's like real time, right? But even now, so is Telegram, right? Telegram did their own quote unquote sacrifice, right? Pre-sale of a pre-sale, all that stuff. Multi-billion-dollar conglomerate like crazy. Telegram, if you got in Telegram and you did something, you probably became very successful. Whatever. Listen, how you find out about these cryptos, man? How you find out? DJ and Dougie, I see you. Noonie, I see you. Checks my pulse in the building. I see y'all. Al Merlos in the building. How you find DJ Bomber? How you find out? More often than not, yo, someone has to be talking about it. Someone somewhere has to talk about it. That's how you find out. That's how I found out. From one interview, a person asking another person about what Bitcoin is, educating the people about Bitcoin, how Bitcoin has helped them. From people talking about it, right? Bitcoin didn't knock on my door and say, "Hey, pay attention to me." Bitcoin didn't come in the mailbox. Bitcoin didn't really slide in any DMs of mine to make itself known. It was the people who talked about it, word of mouth. The power of the word. People underestimate that. Never underestimate that, yo. Right? So you have YouTube. YouTube back then was not what YouTube is today. And I'm not talking about because the YouTube upgrades have just, it's a lot better to do. No. YouTube back then, this was before the whole PewDiePie debacle. This is before advertisers, right, threatened YouTube to stop wanting to use YouTube for marketing purposes. This is before all that adpocalypse and all that. Man, it was a free for all. Like, first of all, the way that they would compensate content creators was a lot more lucrative back then than it is today. That's not even the point. If you were in crypto and you went to YouTube, that was part of the experience to learn about whatever crypto you wanted to learn about and things that you didn't even discover So content creators, if they were clever and their channels were quote unquote monetized, it was easier to get your channel monetized if you were hustling and make some change. You would make your change that way. But then again, this is before they started really hating on crypto. And you had YouTubers who were promoting coins, selling the idea. They call it shilling. To me, it's selling. They would sell to their audience whatever that they were paid for in advance to talk about to their audience. This is how the people got to know. Unless you were really doing your research behind the scenes, doing your research, however it was, again, getting involved with groups on Telegram, getting involved with just doing the hardcore research, discovering why did this exchange list this coin? What is this coin about? And then you go continue to do your investigations, right? Coin by coin. Had a bunch of different crypto exchanges that went down. I remember things like Cryptopia. Cryptopia held coins that major big exchanges wouldn't want to deal with. Cryptopia was like considered a degen type situation, a degen exchange, centralized exchange. They went down. Coin exchange went down. A bunch of them. Hit BTC went down. See, I'm giving you some historical stuff here because I was around. A lot of them can't do that. A lot of these people that talk today can't do that. They still talk though. This is the whole thing with the word, the power of the word. How were you exposed to the cryptocurrency, right? Someone had to speak about it. Someone had to market it, right? Back then, YouTubers were paid on the low because people try to slide into my DMs. They saw I was creating content. People would slide into my DMs and say, "Hey, I see you doing this. You a YouTuber. Listen, I got a project that I'm launching. I could give you X amount of dollars for this amount of coins. You just talk about what we got going on. I'm legit. I'm official." And it was easy for me to just get, okay, yeah, I accept. Tell me what the terms are. Give me the bag and I'll talk. I didn't do it because at that point, my channel was small. And I learned just from that. I put 2 and 2 together. I said, oh, okay, there's other content creators that got thousands of views. They started from the bottom, moved their way up. They got thousands, not only of views, but all of a sudden the channel started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And every day or every 2 days, they got a new coin to talk about. They got a new coin that's going 100x. They got a new coin that's going 1,000x. They got a new coin that's going to the moon. When Lambo, right? They're talking. I'm like, yo, how you all know this? How you know all this? What are you doing? How's this work? Come to find out, when people started to buy into those same coins that those people were selling to the audience and did not realize the gains that they were promised, right? They did not realize that all the while, all of the YouTubers at the time, the majority, if not all, would say up front, not financial advice. Do your own research. Also, leaving out the fact that a person's research, more often than not, would only go so far as listening to you talk about the coin. That's as far as the research would go. Watching a YouTube video, that's it, right? So they took advantage of these things because people are not interested the same way that you and I may be interested to learn about this, right? So they hear you talk about it, they trust you, they like you. That's why they watch you, right? This was even before super chats were even a thing. So you buy into the coins that you're hearing about. And then a couple days later, you realize, wait a minute, what happened to this project? What happened to this token? What happened to this launch? Why is this ICO that you said I was a part of Why aren't they issuing my coins? Why didn't I get my money? Why didn't I get my return on investment? You want to know why? Welcome to the experience, the negative experience, the harrowing experience of understanding the real reason of why we describe this place, this space, this industry as a wild, wild west. You lost. You lose. Plus, you got the ill street blues. You lose. You lost. Like, and there's no recourse. Because when you go to said communication channels of whatever project leader and project founder of the coin that you were exposed to by a promoter or crypto YouTuber that you listen to and you endear for some reason, you give them the attention that they crave. All their communications, they shut down their socials. No more Telegram group. Twitter gone. And you left holding a bag of losses. In experiencing that, Alan, I see you. Pacelto, I see you. In experiencing that, who in that experience is left to blame? Because normally, naturally, I would imagine that you're looking for someone to point fingers at. You're looking for somebody to blame, even though the onus does lie on you. Because again, it was never quote unquote financial advice. It was you supposed to do your own research, right? Never invest more that you can afford to lose. All that fancy disclaimer stuff, right? Sure, it's true. It's you and the crypto, right? We understand this is a solo sport, is an individual person's game. Yes, yes, yes. But how did you hear? How did this become? How did you become aware of whatever coin, of whatever project, right? Whatever ICO, whatever anything in crypto was being presented to you? Is that experience of you losing, in other words, not a shared situation, or in the sense of, is it all 100% your fault that you lost your bread, you lost your money? Is it 100% unequivocally, absolutely 100% your fault for not taking personal accountability and personal responsibility? Is it really 100%? Does the onus lies 100% on you as a supporter, as a crypto person, as a crypto enthusiast, participant, whatever you want to call it, investor? Is the onus 100% left onto you? Some may say yes. Some may say yes. But the real aspect that a lot of people just don't like to accept, they don't like to accept the fact that the person who talked to you about the coins, the person who was also advertising, who was marketing to you about said project, said coins, said token, is also responsible. Because if it weren't for that person, you would not have known about XYZ project naturally. Does that not make sense? I don't wish this at all, but let's say things don't work out with RH and the ecosystem he created. say something happened, blah blah blah. Ethereum, every Pulse chain, the core coins go south. They go to zero, 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 zero. Individuals like myself, who the world has identified as a maximalist, right? We would be held, our feet would be held to the fire. Like, this applies to me too, because I talked to it. I talked about it. I talked about it. There's a lot of people that don't know about this, still don't know. And if you stumble on the algorithm moves you to my channel. Nondescript, you a straight up newbie, you a new jack, and all you see if you look at my channel is just, Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X. Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X. You knew nothing about some Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X. You stumble on my channel and it's about Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X and everything else related to it. And then I'm going to follow the lead and say, oh, not financial advice. Do your own research. Don't put more money that you could afford to lose. Which years ago, I used to say this too. Like, I don't know what type of money that I would put in anything that I couldn't afford to lose, man. My money's my money, man. I'm not trying to lose anything. But that's a topic for a different day, different story. But then if everything goes to zero and stays there, you're looking at me. And yes, you would blame me on some shape, form, or fashion. Even though you know, no, ultimately, no one forced you. You understand? No one forces you to buy, to sell, to send, to transfer. No one forces you to do anything in crypto, right? But I do understand that I do have a responsibility, and I have to hold myself accountable for what I say, because I know what comes with this, what can come with this, the potential consequences, positive or negative. And I respect it, and I don't fake the funk and just talk about whatever just to satiate my greedy, selfish palate. I'm not going to just put everything in information out there just to serve my own personal needs and say, forget everybody and dismiss my audience. I'm not doing that, because I've seen it happen to others. I've seen it happen to others unnecessarily. And I questioned them about this years ago. Life is already unfair. Do we have to make it more unfair here? Some people don't care, because they will extract and take and drain you for everything you have. It's the nature of what we deal with here. I wouldn't be absolved if everything Hex related, Richard Hart related went to zero. Oh yeah, blame us, blame the tubers, blame the folks that talk about Hex, blah, blah, Pulse Chain, and all that. Yeah, for sure. And it's true. Like, I do this because I enjoy it. I really do. I'm not on the take. No one's funding nothing for me. I do this for that, because why not? Just to speak about it, to share, and etc. That wouldn't even matter if everything went to zero. It wouldn't matter. Be like, oh no, they would say I am getting paid. That's what they would say. That Richard Hart just left my crib and he dropped a bag, and it just so I could continue to work for him. That I'm on the take. They would probably have investigations like they sent those letters out 2 years ago, right? To the crypto people who make content in Hex, subpoena, whatever, scared the crap out of them, naturally, rightfully so. Because why would you want to have any type of legal entanglement with any nonsense like that when you're just doing these things, supposed to be doing these things for free? But doesn't take away from the fact that I have to hold myself accountable for what I say and what I do on this damn internet. Because when people get hurt Folks are looking for the reason why they got hurt and who's to blame. And in a situation like that, God forbid, like, oh, this went south. And people like me, I kept talking about it this whole time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will be. There's some form, shape, form, or fashion. The blame will fall on me too, because I was talking about it, supporting it, marketing it, advertising, shilling, promoting, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, because I'm pushing a message. I'm pushing a message, y'all. That's how I'm responsible. That's how I'm accountable. So when you have people now actively, who are trying to remove themselves from a situation, that hacked, that scammed out, that rugged, learn forward, like moving forward. When y'all figure this out, you're going to see certain things and put things together, and you will not be able to unlearn what you discover, right? Take this with you when in your crypto travels and experience. Take these experiences with you, right? And these pieces of information that I just freely share, right? Because you'll be able to identify things better moving forward if you didn't up to this point. Some of these people, right, been telling you about a specific coin, a specific DEX, a specific project, a specific thing the whole time. The whole time. Let the coin rug. Let the DEX have a problem and people lose money. Let some sacrifice phase that was supposed to whatever materialize, don't materialize. The people heard about this crap from you because you were supporting it. It's convenient to throw your hands up and act like some shaggy and say it wasn't me. It's convenient. When up until the misfortune, up until the rug actually took place, you were a staunch advocate. 100%. What could I say if everything in Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Inc. goes to zero? I can't say it wasn't me, like to an extent. I can't, because I'm talking about it. So what's the difference with y'all? Like I could get, I didn't develop the damn coins. I didn't develop the chain. I didn't develop the DEX. I didn't develop nothing about some rewards for some ink token, meme coin, whatever. I didn't do that. But I spoke about it for years. So nothing, I'm not at I'm not accountable for nothing, even though I talked about it. Because this is what we forget too. It doesn't matter how good you think the project is. It doesn't matter how immutable, unchanging any code is. It doesn't matter how flawless an operation is. If you don't know about it, you wouldn't care about it because you don't know. How do you know about it? It's when people talk about it and people share and consistently talk about it. Not just talk one day and you never hear about it again. When you hear folks continuously speak about it because they've engendered some type of belief, they have faith in what they're talking about, they support, or else they wouldn't be talking about it. You have a hand in this as well. I would have a hand in this as well. If everything went to zero. Oh yeah, sure. Crypto Wonder been talking about it for 3+ years. And everything went to zero. Oh yeah, I would be a fool not to expect people to say that's my fault too. It varies in degrees of level of accountability. I get, but I would be a fool. I wouldn't lie to myself and pretend like people wouldn't blame me. You can't blame me for everything, but I could hold some accountability for on some of it because I was talking about it. I've been talking about it. It's the same energy, the same thing applies today for those who talk about nondescript situations. And when I say nondescript, everything unrelated to Richard Hart, every non-Richard Hart DEX, every non-Richard Hart token, every non-Richard Hart coin or project, right? Blockchain, whatever you're a part of. You hearing something from a streamer that you like. You hearing something from some type of YouTuber, some type of quote unquote influencer that you didn't know. You didn't know anything about. And that thing that you heard about ended up not working as it was intended to work. And then the person that tells you about it says, "Oh, no, I'm sorry, man. All is well. It wasn't me. This is why you should, always do your own research. This is why you should, never put more than you could afford to lose." All that is true. But they have onus too. They also have a hand. They also have a hand in this experience, because you would not have, how would you have known about whatever rug if it wasn't for people talking about it? And question that. Like, they've always think about these things. This is why this is a very precarious situation with this internet and crypto. Because people put themselves in precarious situations where it's like, yo, this is a fine line. You're playing a dangerous game, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm so committed to a project, right? I'm so committed to a project. People are going to hear you say these things, and they're going to want to understand why you committed, why you believe. And then they're going to formulate their own conclusions and may duplicate your actions. And if they don't yield favorable results, who do you think they're coming after? It's not the damn dev team. Especially if you can't find a dev team. Who do you think they're coming after? Hold that. Understand that. This is a price you pay for wanting to be a public person talking about these things. I'm familiar with how things work, and I still have a bunch to learn. I've watched it happen to innumerable amount of people in the past. I've watched this, man, for years, bro. You think you figured these things out. You quick to talk, you excited. I don't blame you. If you think you found something that, is greater than sliced, is greater than sliced bread. Like I understand. I understand the passion. But when it blows up, you got to be prepared to take the reaction, the negative feedback from the people. You got to be able to hold that. And don't act like you had nothing to do with the experience of people, experiencing pain. Don't pretend, because you look worse by doing that. You look worse, even if you've also suffered a loss. That's what makes it crazy. No one would care. I've seen it happen to people in the past. They don't care if you were a part of it. You got affected, adversely affected. You got rugged. So they don't care. People don't care. It's you they want. You could give a reason. Oh yeah, these people, they built this building faulty. They didn't have the right plans. They didn't have the right engineers. And if they did, they missed a few things. And I also am adversely impacted. You think people, that's just a band-aid. Like you're just giving them something to pacify them. But they're really looking at you, because if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't know about this building that's being built, because the engineers, the architects, right? The laborers are not business people. They're not marketers. They're not into public relations. They're just there to do a certain job. What did you do? You marketed. You advertised. You promoted. You also have a role. They missed a few screws in the beams. The foundation wasn't constructed properly, right? Faulty violations left and right. We get that. They got to go back and whatever. But that's a team. That's an operation. That's a team that you will always have to question, right? But you were supporting the efforts of that team. How do you think the public is going to look at you? Because if it weren't for you, they wouldn't know. This is the consequences. It's not even about right or wrong. If they would have continued to live on with their lives and would have been unaware about this faulty building, if it weren't for you telling them about it. That's just real. That's just the honest truth. That's just the honest truth. And that's what people are facing today. And that's what people will continue to face. That's what people have faced in the past. That's what people are facing today. And that's what people will face in the future. I just share information so to help you be aware. And in many cases, folks may think they're crazy. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I don't know. But if you have wondered why people do what they do, a lot of it is for different reasons. People are wrecked. Folks are looking for ways to make money off the backs of others, right? People may be greedy. And it's worse when you did put your best foot forward and you thought you were aligned with something, quote unquote, solid. And when it blows up in your face, it's like you got to go back to the drawing board and wear that if you want to continue in the space. But this is something right here. It's clearly defined. The parameters are clearly defined. This is not some guessing game. Don't make it more confusing than what it is. That's why I always say, keep things simple. Keep things very simple. You talking about something is because you support it, right? You're talking about it so people become aware. You want to talk about, this is the thing when folks say, oh no, I throw my hands up. I wasn't part of the construction. In a certain way you were, because you brought people to the project. You brought people to the coin. You brought people to the tokens. You brought people to the chain. You brought people to the situation. You want to keep talking about adopting, onboarding. Folks, do not get tricked by the games these people play, right? Who does the onboarding? Who's doing the marketing? They have a role. They have a role. Even though ahead of an operation, ahead of like I said, a building, you want to build the thing, you need a team of people who know what they're doing, of professionals who are doing it. And to me, those are the real founders, the masons that are laying the brick, having all the measurements, the engineers, all these things. Yeah, they're the founders, they're the builders for real, right? But it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't just stop there. Now you have to advertise. Now you have to market. You need people who are proficient in that to do that too. It's a huge operation. It's a huge effort. so that people can use the building, so that people can inhabit the building. Maybe spaces need to be leased out or whatever. So it could be utilized. You need to sound the alarm, let people know, spread the word. There's value in that. Don't act like all of a sudden because things get too hot that everything was there's some kind of, a malfunction. The electrical system is poor. Something going on with the structure itself, and all of a sudden it's I didn't know. But when people lose money, they're looking at you because you were the agent. You were the agent chilling. You were the agent. You're like the real estate broker. Oh yeah, you sold me a bag of goods, man, because I got it through you. I didn't know. And that's another thing. Some people have operations where, promoters do get paid. And by the time the promoters are talking about the coins, they done dumped on your heads. And you wondering why, you didn't yield the same rewards they advertised. In some cases, they're not even about that. Okay, you want to be a good guy, quote unquote, good guy. All right. You want to be in with the people, have people have faith with you. You want to be Peter Pan. You want to be the hero of heroes and experience the same loss, if not maybe a greatest loss, because you were the biggest believer in your situation. Now you got to deal with an even greater ordeal because your reputation is now in question. People don't really feel sorry for you because they're also in pain. And you got to realize, is this even worth continuing and pursuing like this? What could you have done differently in the first place? What did you learn about this? It's what it is. What did you learn about this? How are you going to move forward? People are never going to forget that you pointed them to a building that wasn't even constructed properly, airtight, top to bottom. And it's easy to say, oh, these other skyscrapers, they have questions too. Do we know how these other skyscrapers were built? Do we know how secure the beams are, the columns, the foundation, right? Do we know? Did they pass the code, building codes? Are they up to code? Are there any violations? Do we know that? You could ask that about everything. But the minute you got into the game of developing, these are the risks you assume. Multi-billion-dollar, like commercial real estate and all that. Yeah, this is the risk you assume. You better make sure that building is solid so it doesn't collapse. But a lot of y'all came in here and you want to throw stones and hide your hands consistently, continuously. It's nothing but ongoing teaching moments for y'all. That's it. Good people, I gotta run. Dr. D. Raj, Alan Fizame, I see you. Rolando, I see you. Crypto Bigfoot. Salute to y'all for coming through. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one real quick, man. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, night, everything you got going on. Just be vigilant. I was gonna say be vigilant. What's a vigilant? Be vigilant. Peace.